Hello, my name is Lexi Clark, and today I'll be explaining my research that attempts to find a relationship between democracies and alliances. By analyzing a country's political structure and the alliances they form, it will provide information about regional power. From an outside reference in the Journal of Conflict Resolution by Randolph M. Severson and Julianne Emmons, they examine the relationship between countries and how they form alliances, specifically through the lens of democracy. This means that they are interested in determining if democracy affects the formation of alliances. Here's a quote from the journal. It is relatively unusual for traditional theories to assert directly that either domestic political institutions or ideology have an important role in alliance formation, and even rare for democracies to be singled out as having a significant affinity for each other's policies. Alliances are formed primarily for security rather than out of a sense of community. This introduces the theory that countries do not only search for alliances with like-minded governments, countries more so look to become allies with countries that can provide them with security, whether that be in the form of military protection or economical backing. From the study, we hope to find that if two countries are both democratic and allies, then there should be a strong political relationship in situations of international disputes. Due to similar ideologies, countries that are both democratic and allies will have stronger support for each other during these times. Therefore, we should expect democratic states to form alliances with the other democratic states more frequently than states that are not democracies. To analyze the data, a chi-square test was utilized in order to find a statistical pattern. The countries were listed by region and determined to either be a democracy or not. Then countries were grouped in pairs, distinguished if they are allies, and then if they are both democracies. The countries were tallied in a matrix if they are allies and a democracy, not allies or democracies, and the variations in between. This organized the information into 4 sectors and allowed for the creation of a chi-square test. The study resulted in 7 pairs that are allies and democracies, 1 pair that were not allies but both democracies. There were 14 pairs that were allies but not democracies, 20 pairs that were not allies or democracies. This data proves that the hypothesis is false. The information gathered has resulted in a 5.559 chi-square, which is high and indicates a pattern. Then the p-value of 0.018385591, which is less than 0.05, which means that the pattern is not coincidental. Since the p-value is small, we can conclude that our hypothesis is incorrect. However, there's a potential pattern in the real world. The study concludes that the states do not form alliances with other states that are democracies more frequently than states that are. The outcome was not as expected. However, not all the countries in the world are represented. While there are a variety of countries present in the study, the information is also highly favoring larger powers. This could skew the information or illustrate a smaller perspective.